Hey there, movie watchers. These are movies that I never want to see again, and neither should you. So now it's time for the power of negativity. Black Demon. Black Demon is a film that has an awesome trailer that makes you think you're going to watch a shark movie about a demon shark protecting the oceans. But instead, what you get is an environmental propaganda film. In fact, the advertising is so misleading, I am surprised the filmmakers and distribution company didn't get sued for false advertisement. Now, do I have a problem with films having political messaging? No. But what I do have a problem with is deceptive practices to make you think that you're going to watch a fun shark film just so you can throw a political messaging film and us as the audience not being prepared for it. It is one of the most bullshit tactics I have ever seen. Not to mention, the acting's not that good, and they go with the most cliche, insulting, obvious villain. Lazy writing, barely any shark. If you want to see a fun shark movie, watch Deep Water, The Meg. Even Sharknado would be better than this. Midori. Not the first or the last film on this list, but absolutely the worst film. This anime film has a reputation and it was lost media for a while. And 99% of the time, I am all about 90s and 80s gritty anime films. This is the 1%. Initially, it had some really trippy visuals, and alright, cool, I'm in for a good time. But that doesn't last very long, as even the dialogue sometimes doesn't have any mouth movements. But I thought, as I was watching it, that this was going to be a revenge story, kind of like I Spit on Your Grave or Last House on the Left. Instead, what the film gives you is a violence and suffering story. And by suffering, I mean the type of suffering that the social media platforms doesn't want me to talk about, and as you kids say, would be triggering to most people. Midori is just morbid and bleak for the sake of it. By the time you finish watching this film, you just feel angry, disturbed, and disgusting, and you need to take a long hot shower. This is one time when I would say the lost media should have remained lost, and they should get every copy of it and burn it in an incinerator. So absolutely, do not watch Midori. Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight 2. Now, this is the second movie of a Polish slasher franchise on Netflix. I watched the first film, and it really wasn't that good. I only gave it 2 stars. But it started off with an interesting premise about a bunch of kids going to a summer camp to keep them away from electronic devices. And it immediately spirals out of control. However, a lot of horror films like this usually look at what they did the first time and they improve. The film set a lot of things up, it had some redeeming value. But part 2 proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that if you make a bad film, it can always be worse. It throws almost everything out the window about the first film, the main characters, the story, and it just kind of goes away. Then you have 2 cops that get turned into monsters, and my god, the only thing that you are going to remember about this movie is an awful romantic scene between these 2 monsters, and it's gonna make you sick. It's very disgusting, very cliche. They really wanted to make some kind of awesome Polish franchise to rival the American slashers, and it just fails miserably. Hopefully, there will not be a Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight Part 3. Dragon Ball Evolution, the most infamous adaptation on anybody's list. Now, does Dragon Ball Evolution have any redeeming qualities at all? Piccolo looks okay, and so does a dragon. But that's about it. This film was nothing but a cash grab to make a live action film of a popular franchise. It realistically is Dragon Ball in name only. They make Goku a horny teenager, which is completely the opposite of any depiction of that character. They change some characters' names, they really don't put a lot of time and effort into it. This is basically the equivalent of somebody making a Superman movie, and Superman's powers is that he shapeshifts into a giant pig. It really has nothing to do with the source material. It is so bad that the director actually apologized to fans. When have you ever seen that? I have actually met a person or two that thinks this movie's okay, but they've never seen Dragon Ball. It literally spits in the franchise face, and it should have never been made. The only reason to ever watch it is it's a case study in what not to do when you adapt media for the big screen. Now, all these films that I have presented to you should never be watched, and I give them all a half a star. Why not 0 stars, you ask? Because half a star is as low as I go. And all half a star means is, congratulations, You made a movie and somehow you got some company to pay you to do it. Every one of these films should be avoided like the plague, and I hope you enjoyed the power of negativity. So, thank you for watching The Derek Ruby Show, and I'll see you guys next time.